have many dreams in my current life, and I'm sure you do too. Mostly, I'm talking about idealized versions of our own lives, where seemingly all our problems disappear, and we are free to simply live without fear of the little voice inside our heads. I want to talk for a moment about Heaven Official's Blessing, a Chinese novel series that has captured the hearts of so many. Perhaps because, in at least some ways, it depicts among the most ideal of romances, one where, in spite of all the terrible things said and rumored about another, they are treated with kindness, compassion, and without judgment. One where love is so true that it has stayed strong over incredible, terrible, destructive events. The simple notion of trust extended without fear and love extended without condition soothes the soul. Admittedly, I have a part of me that is frustrated with this novel as much as I adore it. It felt too perfect, too ideal, too nice. Every relationship I had ever had, platonic or otherwise, was not without conflict. Most likely, you've experienced the same. Perhaps humans are just creatures of insecurity, too easy prey to the doubts and insecurities that cloud their minds. Love sours to something bitter and rotten for so many, whose only means of escape is through a breakup or divorce. It isn't what anyone wants, but we become convinced the magic is no longer there, or maybe it never was. Perhaps this came up because I recently had a scuffle with my own love. Indulging in minute guilty pleasures and decisions led to quite some upset, hurt feelings, and a loss of trust. It is almost absurd how this came about when I had always felt that trust was my number one priority in a relationship. Then why would I be led to self-sabotaging behaviors? Perhaps what I really wanted was like the love shown from the novel, where in spite of damning evidence, I was trusted that my love was and is true. If self-sabotaging behaviors are anything like what's described in the book, The Mountain Is You, link in the description below, then that might exactly be the point, to reassure someone that they have what they truly desire. They want to be proven wrong, but people are flawed and insecure creatures. We are not meant to prove others of perfection in their desires. I still desire in my heart to be a sanctuary and to be loved for all that I am worth. Yet I also want to be a generous and forgiving person at my core, and I think that I am. Maybe I do have silly little slip-ups now and then, but the strides I've taken in my life are phenomenal. But the book I mentioned brings up a pretty good point. Often people wait for their circumstances to shift to say that they are secure. In reality, their kingdom is built upon pillars of sand, and any adversity threatens to have the whole thing collapsing. It is a bit strange, isn't it? We can rattle off lines like, money doesn't bring happiness, be your authentic self, do unto others as you would want done to you. And we can understand them on a logical level for the most part. But emotionally, to embrace these sayings is another thing entirely. It is another thing entirely to truly be happy with yourself when you have $0 in the bank, or to be your authentic self in the face of scathing criticism and mainstream beliefs, or to do unto others as you would want done to you when you find the love of your life has been cheating on you. am not quite there myself, but I think I've done all right. I have built up a lot of resilience and strength over the years of hardship. I have also learned how to let go of a lot of pain. Regarding that my financial situation is currently an utter disaster, I can look at it and think about it and experience only some anxiety around the subject. And in regards to what I was originally talking about, I am starting to act upon the simple wishes that I have so long wanted and wished to do. Creating a Minecraft Let's Play and spreading encouragement, compassion, and understanding to viewers. Simply allowing myself to enjoy the game without worry of how engaging it is or not. I actually was in the process of creating mods for the game way back when. You can see the video on my channel of Lively Pigs, and I just may get back into modding again. Not for money, but because it brings me joy to be able to add my creative flair to a game I love so much. There's another thing I'd like to do, and that is create amazing real estate from abandoned, weathered old buildings. I've even pinpointed the very building that I want to enliven. A little wedge building near 3004 Germantown Avenue. I've passed by it many times at this point, and I have always been inspired and drawn towards it. I think it could make for an absolutely beautiful place. Admittedly, I haven't yet thought much on what I want to create with it, and I have some money blocks to work through so I can truly let my inspiration flow. But the first thing that comes to mind is a cat cafe. I can think of few other things that can bring me genuine joy, even when I'm in a miserable place in my mind, like the company of friendly, affectionate, purring cats. And that is what I want to do, provide a space to bring joy to all, to bring inspiration and peace. I'll talk a little bit on creativity too, since that seems to be the magic spice that everyone wants nowadays, but no one quite understands how it works or how it's cultivated. In my experience, creativity is the allowance of your thoughts to roam freely without judgment. Sort of like meditation, but not. It's letting your thoughts roam even when you might think the idea trivial or silly. It's letting your thoughts roam even when you know there is a great deal of competition or you simply don't have the resources. It's letting your creativity flow even when you think, well, that's not very creative at all. It's like taking the Bob Ross approach to your thoughts, just letting what's coming come, and anything that might seem out of place is simply a happy little accident. For me, money has been one of the biggest restrictors of creativity in my life. I had and still have a lot of things that I feel I can allow myself to do when I get the money for it. But that doesn't inspire me. And if I had to guess, it probably doesn't inspire you either. Or it might. Maybe you don't have your demons with money. Maybe money never has and never will be a problem for you. For most of us, that isn't the case. And when I think that way, I only shut myself to all the doors I could be opening. What if the idea I come up with for that building is actually a fantastic, phenomenal idea that will make it profitable beyond anyone's wildest imagination? It would be a shame if I simply wouldn't let myself think about it because I don't have the money or resources to buy it and renovate it myself, because the discerning investor would have that money, and they would be more than happy to spend it if it meant a 300% return on their investment. It is too easy not to give ourselves enough credit and to feel like we have less to offer than we really do. Today, money isn't just an exchange of value, but it's seen as a statement on your value as a human being. People of higher socioeconomic status may simply turn away discussion from someone who makes a tenth or hundredth amount of annual salary than they do. People who don't produce money at all are known as leeches, freeloaders, as if the lack of income makes them this black hole that sucks and destroys everything around them. Even when we are aware and try not to give in to the biases, we may find that we are still considering it on a subconscious level. And so, when we struggle with money, we oftentimes feel as though all we can do is commiserate with others in the same situation as us, and otherwise suffer in silence. But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if we went at our dreams with passion and the pretense that all the resources to make it successful were available to us? After all, aside from dreams of making money, what we would like to do with that money, I believe, is usually indicative of what we most desire to do in our lives. These things and acting out these desires brings us an immense amount of joy. So why not go at it like the world is your sandbox, even if it's just for 1 hour a day? While this isn't exactly what I had in mind for my Let's Plays, it nonetheless brings me great joy to write about and rehearse, imagining the people whose lives this will touch and have a profound effect on stirs my soul. Bringing my creativity into Minecraft and showing others how to unlock their own excites me. To bridge the gap between games and their real-life value, I feel would create a dramatic shift for us all. There are many people out there who subscribe to hustle and grind. I am officially tired of and retired from that life. I have lived it since I was a child. I lived it through college and through my early 20s. And I can say without a doubt, it is not worth it. I respect and am grateful for all the work that I have put in, but I am letting myself off the hook now. I won't do hard work because it is good money. Money is freedom, and what's the point of freedom if you're trading the freedom of a happy, inspired heart for it? If what we really want out of life is happiness, then trading our happiness for money is nothing less than a scam. What I desire to be is an enlightened individual whose internal state is completely unaffected by monetary wealth. I am not there yet, but I think I have made great strides, and I think that I have less resistance towards money than many wealthier individuals than me today. But that's only a guess. So what is the path if money is not a goal? Well, then life becomes a game, doesn't it? A game of creation, of inspired choices and decisions, to make of it what you want. To view the people and the world around you as a magical, deeply interconnected space that you have the pleasure of playing with. If your desire is to help people inhabit planets other than Earth, why not delve into physics and rocket science and mathematics? If your desire is to make the city you grew up in beautiful, why not start picking up litter around it? The lovely thing about this is that if they are your passions, you are under no pressure to stay committed to these tasks. And that makes the challenges fun instead of drudgery, Because if you fail at a challenge, well, there are no dire consequences. And you can decide to keep on, or take a different route, or whatever you feel like doing. Life truly became Life truly becomes a game of endless opportunities and possibilities. Life is drudgery and agony for far too many people, and it may seem very unfair. I am certain I know many people who do think this. I think life has the opportunity to be truly challenging and engaging depending on the way one looks at it. That may mean abandoning certain mainstream beliefs and choosing to go the path that many would consider abnormal or even crazy. Well, I already know I'm crazy, but better crazy than continuing to suffer as so many people are. In this vast world where we can only control so much, there is no benefit to harboring guilt over more successes not achieved. To some, it may provide a means forward, and I hope that it does. I hope that you can nurture the guilt within you to clarify your goals and actions and then put it to rest. I am far from desiring to live in poverty the rest of my life, but I feel more empowered to create. Because money comes from value, and you can always give value to the world, no matter because money comes from value, and you can always give value to the world no matter the amount in your bank account. The value, after all, comes from within, when we are inspired and joyful and looking at the problems around us, not with helplessness and hopelessness, but curiosity and excitement. I wish to be the bridge for so many people who play Minecraft to know that life can be just as exciting and just as much of a sandbox, if not so much more than Minecraft. Minecraft mirrors real life and reflects it. As I shared this journey with you, I hope to get your creative, curious side engaged in Minecraft, and then to slowly let it bleed out into the real world. This is similar to how I got to where I was today. I was playing Stardew Valley and decided to just make a very small modification to start. Then I created a full mod, and then I continued on to making ever bigger projects. Each little success gives you confidence and the courage to tackle something ever greater. Well, that was one hell of a pep talk. Alright, go ahead and indulge a little. Catch you all later.